guys? Back again with my weekly review of The Walking Dead. It's going to be for Season 6, Episode 5, entitled Now. I thought this episode was pretty good. Not too much action, but it definitely moved the story along. We found out a couple big things in this episode. So yeah, this definitely going to contain spoilers for anybody that hadn't seen the episode. Would probably want to go ahead and click off the video now. I'll go ahead and give you a second to do that. Alright, and here we go. Episode starts out with Deanna climbing the little outlook thing at the wall. And kind of just look like she's in her own little world. She's just standing there, and don't really, what's going through her head. But it's probably all kinds of stuff, after the wolves attack and whatnot. You see Tobin cleaning up some of the dead bodies and stuff in Alexandria. So I guess Tobin got back, because Rick was trying to radio him in the last one he was in. But yeah, and then you overhear Michonne talking to Rosita and Maggie, talking about Glenn. He was in the town, and what the plan was. They were going to try to torch a building, and of course they never saw the smoke or anything. So, but she also told him that he would send some kind of sign to let them know he was okay, which obviously nobody has seen the sign yet, because we don't know where Glenn is. But like I said, I'm still betting money. I'm not sure when we're going to find out, but he's definitely still going to be alive. So, and then after we overhear Michonne talking to Maggie and Rosita, you hear what you heard in the last episode at the very end, when Morgan heard when he walked out of the little the house that he had the wolf in. You hear somebody saying, open the gates, and as I predicted, and I was correct, it is Rick. He is running back frantically with the herd right on his ass, and he's saying, open the gates now. And so Michonne and Maggie and Rosita, they open the gate, and Rick gets inside, and Deanna, the look on her face, she's like I said, Deanna's just out there. She's losing it after all this. She's just looking at the herd as it's coming in, as they close the gates on them, and just astonished look on her face. Then Rick gives a big speech and letting everybody know what the plan is. Basically, they're just going to try to be as quiet as possible. At nighttime, try not to use as much lights. Keep the blinds closed, like he said, everything. And maybe eventually they'll go away, which probably ain't going to happen, but it's good wishful thinking. And his plan is, he says Sasha, Daryl, and Abraham eventually going to be back after they lead the first herd. And they got vehicles. They're going to lead the next one to come back and lead these ones away. That's the plan that they're hoping on. And then he says, of course, then Glenn and Nicholas will walk back through the gates. Nicholas, not so much, but Glenn, yeah, he's definitely going to be back, no doubt, in my opinion. Also in this episode, it was good to see Jesse kind of realize what the world is now. She gave a little speech to the Alexandrians, basically saying, this is what life looks like now. If you don't fight, you die. Basically reiterating what Rick has previously told the Alexandrians. And she actually put down Betsy, if you remember a couple episodes back, the guy that got bit, and he wrote the note to his wife, and it was Betsy or whatever, and Michonne said, you're going to get home, whatever. That was his wife, which we found out, and I guess she just couldn't deal with it, lost her husband, and then the impending herd outside the wall, she took her own life, and Jesse had to put her down, and then she gave her a little speech, like I said, and yeah, it was good to see her, come around. Also in this episode, we see Dr. Denise Cloyd. She's working on Scott, the guy that was shot out when she was with Michonne and Heath, and he had the gunshot wound, and she's trying to patch him up, and she can't figure it out. She's kind of down on herself, and she's looking at some medical books and whatnot, and she's thinking, oh well, I can't do it. He's gonna die. Tara kind of comes in and gives her a little pep talk and keeps her up, saying at least you're trying, you can't give up and whatever. And so, she ends up finding something in the books that works and helps Scott out. And then later on, she goes and finds Tara and lays a big fat kiss on her, which we already know Tara's that way. So, kind of crazy, but yeah, it is what it is. I have a little romance going on there, but anyways, like I said, also in this episode, big thing is Maggie. She's going to find Glenn. Her mission, she is going to go try to find Glenn. And Aaron tries to, tell her you can't do this on your own. And of course she says, you can't stop me. So he goes, no, I can't stop you, but I am going to go with you and help you. I owe it that much because it's because of me that the wolves found this place and this happened or whatever. He's kind of taking some blame on that because he lost his backpack whenever him and Daryl were out last season and the wolves found it. But anyway, so he was like, I know a way out of here, a better way out of here, which is through the sewers. And so they go through the sewers. They're going to make a run for it once they get to the end of the sewers. Is on the other outside the wall on the other side of the herd. But then Maggie comes to realization she doesn't want to risk it. She tells Aaron why, because she is actually pregnant with Glenn's baby. And very emotional scene. Very well acted, though, by Ross Marquand and Lauren Cohan. Great acting, it was really heartfelt. And, they embrace a good moment. But no, so they ended up not going out to try to find Glenn. They go back. And also in this episode, like I said, Deanna, she got her first walker kill. She ended up killing one of the walkers. It was a walker that was originally one of the wolves that Carol had shot, and I guess he had ran off and died somewhere. He was trying to hide. I guess he ended up dying and turning. But Deanna, obviously, I guess is the only one in the apocalypse that doesn't know that you have to stab him in the head. You got to go for the head. She's stabbing this thing with a broken piece of glass in the chest and the face, and just not getting the brain. So Rick ends up coming up out, and stabbing it in the head. I thought it was a pretty funny moment. But also the end of the episode, Rick, was talking to Jesse. He says he heard about her speech and that she's coming around, basically seeing the world how it's supposed to be, and she's like, well, what's next? What are we gonna do next? Can we even keep, how are we gonna live? And just normal stuff. Question, what they're gonna do. But anyways, Rick goes in for the move and plants one on her, so they have a nice little moment. They kiss and everything. So Rick needs to get some. He ain't got some since Lori. Shit, he's deprived. But anyways, the end of the episode, we see Deanna. Like I said, she's kind of losing it. She goes to the fence, the gate where the herd is all herded up, and she's like just hitting the fence with her hand, all crazy. And I don't know. She's like I said, she is losing it. And then she goes, she walks by, one of the panels of the wall, and you see, like, I don't know what this is, but it's like blood seeping out of the wall. Like I said, I have no idea what's going on with that. But yeah, all in all, not a bad episode. I'll probably give it like a 9 out of a 10. A really good episode, good moment with Maggie, announcing that she was pregnant, and Rick and Jesse kind of hooking up or whatever. So not bad at all. But next week's episode, we're gonna see Daryl and Abraham and Sasha's story. They're out and about and messing with a herd and whatnot. But yeah, not like I said, this episode not too shabby. If you like this review, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. To the always trying to update, get Walking Dead, anything Walking Dead related videos on here. So like I said, I appreciate y'all checking this out and supporting me. And like I said, I'll be back next week with episode 6 review. Y'all be good, and I'll be back soon.
Welcome to Woodburn.